Okay, so now that the Constitution is done in civics, we're going to be learning about citizenship, your voting rights, jury duty, all those taxes, all those things that adults deal with on a regular basis that you guys never ever hear about or talk about. So I'm going to talk to you about all those things. We'll have visitors coming in. I have the circuit clerk of Macon County lined up to come in and speak to you. She'll speak to you about jury duty and things like that. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about being a citizen and what it means to be a citizen of different areas, what it means to be a citizen at home, school, in your community, state, and nationally. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some notes. These will go in your binder. Don't wig out when you see how long they are. We won't get all of it done today.
I thought we was gonna organize this.
Well, put these in the front. Because I don't want to, because I got to make sure that I got one more Constitution test to grade, and then I'll have everybody get rid of their stuff, and I got one more person to take it. Not in here, but. Okay, so put these in your binder, keep them in this order. Friends watching later, this is what your notes look like. Go ahead and get these out. Okay. All right, so all about your citizenship.
Take the first sheet out.
Just leave this just like this. You can leave it all in your binder. So, which one of these is not related to citizenship? Do you know what being a citizen means? What does citizenship mean? Being recognized as what? By a nation as a citizen, as a resident of that nation. Okay, so we are all United States citizens. Our citizenship is to the United States. That's where we were from, that's where we're from, that's where we live, okay? Now, somebody like Miss Byler, who is originally from South Korea, she had to go through the process of getting an American citizenship, okay? So, because she married her husband, who's an American, okay, and there's some things that you have to do in order to become a citizen of our country, okay? She's an American citizen. Right, right. Sometimes they can do that.
Don't they have to get a green card?
If you come over, yeah, there's different things that you can have. Like, a friend of mine was from Australia in college, and they have like student visas that you can get, which is like documentation saying that you're coming here to go to college. Sometimes people come over here, they have documentation they come here for work, different things like that. But we're going to talk about your citizenship, your rights and responsibilities as an American citizen. Okay? So, you are legally recognized by a nation. You have rights and responsibilities. And you're a member of the community. Okay? So which one of these is not related to being a citizenship? Obviously, breaking all the rules. That has nothing to do with your citizenship. It just means you're right. Alright, so we're going to talk about levels of citizenship. So, the first level, so on this triangle on your notes, in the very, very bottom, down here in the point, I just want you to put home. Okay, people I live with. Write people I live with in that bottom little triangle.
Just inside of it, or
So
just
put home or people all over?
Both. So see how it says, I don't know if you can see this. It says home down here. It's written H-O-M-E, but you can put home here, and then here inside it you can put people I live with. The people we live with make up the smallest community that we belong to. Okay? So, who do you live with? In my home, me and my husband and my 2 kids and my dog.
So
That's
do
our,
you write that?
no.
Oh.
Just write people I live with. Because for everybody it's different. Like, it might just be a kid and a mom. It might just be a kid and a dad. It could be, mom, grandma, auntie, and cousin. Okay? Everybody's home looks a little bit different. But the bottom one, the smallest one, it's the smallest community we belong to, is your home. Okay? We got it? Sorry, pictures of my boys coming through with the speech teacher. Okay, the next part in your pyramid, school. So in the next piece of your triangle, you're gonna write school, and then you're gonna put EHS right here. EHS goes inside the pyramid, school goes to the outside of it. Your school or workplace is a community too. These are the people we interact with outside our homes every day. So the department of teachers that I work with, they're my community. Okay, so that would be the level that would be for me there. Okay, you always talk about people in the Eisenhower family. Okay, so that would be, because it's part of our community. What do you think the next layer is going to be? City. Okay, so the next one is the city in which you live. Okay, you're a citizen of Decatur. Okay, so you're going to write Decatur in right here. Write Decatur. Okay, you can write city to the side if you want, but you're going to write Decatur in the triangle. This is where you live. So technically, I'm a citizen of Mount Zion because my home is technically in Mount Zion city limits. Okay? Whatever city you live in is where you are a citizen.
So I like the states like Illinois.
So then what do you think the next one's going to be?
Illinois.
State. So then you'll put Illinois. Our country is made up of 50 states, a district, and 5 territories. You are a citizen of the state or territory where you live. So write the name of your state here. So here you would put Illinois.
Can we just put that in?
Nation is
Huh?
the United States.
Can we put that on your shoes?
Yeah, if you want to put IL for Illinois, that's fine too. Okay, then you guys are all smart problem solvers.
United States of America. Right?
Nation. You are also a citizen of your country. Write the name of the nation where you are an official citizen. Okay, so you guys will all put United States. Okay, there are some people who have dual citizenship, meaning they're a resident or a citizen of the United States and another country. My friends from college are dual citizens. They are American citizens as well as citizens of Australia. Okay, so they have a dual citizenship.
So if they get kicked out of the United States, they can go back to Illinois. So that's like a backup
But
plan.
like even me as an American citizen, I could never be kicked out of the United States because I'm a United States citizen. I mean, they could put me in jail or fine me or whatever stuff like that, but they couldn't just say get out. Okay. So now the triangle that I was able to get to put in your notes has one extra line at the top. So just scribble out that top line.
Oh, we're around.
I know. I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. I couldn't because this is a PowerPoint and I use Google Docs. They're not always friendly to each other. Okay, so this is what your pyramid should look like.
I got one extra bar.
Yep, so you just scribble that one out. Okay? So,
Do
people
write
I live
London
with,
on top?
you put EHS, Decatur, Illinois, United States, and then you will have one at the top that you just squiggle out because I couldn't find the right pyramid. Okay? we're gonna do a little activity with that information tomorrow. We won't have time today, so let's do the notes part today. Alright, so sources of rights and responsibilities. Where do your rights and responsibilities come from? The president, police officers, different places depending on the level of citizenship, or long documents that nobody can read or understand. See, obviously. Different places depending on the level of citizenship.
Should we write that?
Nope. Alright. So, on a national level. Oh wait, just kidding. Yes, I did leave you a blank to write that. I'm sorry. So, where do your rights and responsibilities come from? You're going to write under this first line right here. You're going to write this. Different places depending upon your level of citizenship. Doctor's on something, Okay, we good? Alright, so the next part, your nation. In the United States, we are guaranteed a list of rights in our Constitution. You all are Constitution experts because you all just passed the Constitution test. So, nation, you're going to put United States Constitution on the line. Next to nation, you put United States Constitution.
Is it under nation?
Nope, next to it, how nation has, it says nation, and then it has the line right next to it. You're going to write United States Constitution on that line. And it guarantees our rights as citizens. Okay, that's already written for you.
So you want us to write, for rights, for B?
I have another slide that will go. You got Constitution written down? Okay. Rights and responsibilities also come from laws passed by the United States Congress. So, laws will go in your first short line, and Congress will go in that little bit longer line underneath it. Okay, so different rights and responsibilities that we have as a country come from laws that were created in Congress. Remember when Congress, they form a bill and then it gets approved and then it's voted on and then signed by the president and then it becomes a law? We did all that in the Constitution. Okay, it lists our rights and responsibilities. You good? Okay. So, you don't have anything to write here. Okay. Now, tomorrow when we do this activity, you're going to get another triangle. We're going to make like a 3D thing, and you'll put Constitution laws, but we're not going to do that till tomorrow. All right, so on the state level,
The Constitution.
next to state, you're going to put state constitution and laws. Okay, the Illinois as a state has its own constitution, and then we have the federal constitution. So we've already taken the federal constitution. We've not yet done the Illinois constitution. Okay, so next to state.
We gotta take another one?
Yeah, but it's really, really small. You'll be fine. It's a part of the final.
That's not too much.
I know, you're okay. So, next to state, you'll put state constitution and laws. Each state has its own constitution and laws that list rights and responsibilities of that state's citizens. So, like, it is illegal to smoke inside of a restaurant in the state of Illinois. It is not illegal to do so in Missouri. Okay? So, what is your right as an Illinois citizen when you go out to eat? You don't have to smell other people's cigarette smoke, right? You don't have to be subjected to secondhand smoke. That's a right of yours. Okay? So, underneath state, next to state, you'll put state constitution laws. Underneath it, each state has its own constitution and laws that list rights and responsibilities. So the blue words, and then rights, and then responsibilities.
Miss S.
Yeah.
I mean, Miss Stedler.
Hey, it works for me too.
So, like, back in the day, people used to smoke in a hospital. Is that only for this state or what?
No, that's nationwide now. In schools too. When my grandparents were teachers, and my mom used to talk about how my grandpa taught high school biology, and she used to talk about the teacher's lounge. They would open the door, and smoke would just roll out of there. Because they'd all go in there on break or at lunch or whatever and smoke cigarettes or pipes or cigars or whatever. Isn't that crazy to think about? Like now, like we don't even think about going to a restaurant and it's like smoking or non-smoking. Wake up, computer. Okay, are we good? All right, so we'll do that tomorrow. City. Okay, so next to city, you're going to put city charter. And then you'll have to go to the next page. Cities usually have a city charter that tells how the city will run. This usually includes some rights and responsibilities of city citizens. So there are rules specific to Decatur compared to other communities, okay? It might be something like you're not allowed to have livestock in town, or it is you cannot have, like Mount Zion is a big stickler on how tall your grass can be. So in the summertime or whatever, when it's mowing season, there are constantly signs in people's yards saying that people have violated a city ordinance because their grass is too tall. So then if they don't get their grass mowed within so many days, then the city will come and mow it for them, and then they fine them like a ton. So you always see the signs, and you can tell what yards are going to be fined next. So if you ever live in Mount Zion, you better mow your yard every week, every few days.
That's a weird law.
And then they do have that as a requirement in Decatur, but if you think about the size of Mount Zion versus the size of Decatur, like Mount Zion has like 5,700 people. Decatur has like 70,000 people.
It don't seem like that.
So think like 5 times the size of Eisenhower versus 70 times the size of Eisenhower. We good? Okay, so city laws called ordinances list more rules that apply in the city.
So what you want us to write for city ordinance?
City ordinances, so next to B, there's a line, it says city, and then it says city ordinances. City laws called, city laws called ordinances list more rules that apply to the city. I messed up on my, I put city instead of cities. City laws called ordinances list more rules that apply in the city. So eventually we will look up what some of Decatur's city ordinances are. Okay, they list all those for people if they want to research them. But we will look all that up. Okay, so the next one's going to be school. School laws come from the school handbook. So next to school, you're going to put handbook. Most schools have a school handbook that lists the students' rights and responsibility. Mostly responsibilities, but we'll talk more about that later. So at the beginning of the year, when you were all called down to those assemblies and you had to sign off on the school handbook, this is what you were signing off on. That you agree and understand the rules set in our school.
But nobody follows it sometimes.
Like, let's say you get in trouble and an administrator, someone writes you a referral and the administrator calls you in, then they go through the handbook. And so it's not just, I called Miss Staples a doo-doo head, I'm going to get 10 days out of school suspension. It might give you an hour of APR instead. There's they call it flow chart. There's a strict flow chart on what they do as far as consequences go. So it's not like if Terrell called me a doo-doo head, he might only get a shame, don't do that, that's not nice. But if you called me a doo-doo head, you'd get 10 days out school suspension. It gives some consistency for behaviors. Yes.
I have a question. How come the school, not the school system for level of classes and stuff, how come they make our system seem bad? It's terrible to be in these classes.
In special ed, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just some people stress about it, some people don't. Now I will tell you that as far as behaviors go for students with IEPs, you do have a little more structure as for what's accepted and what's not because of accommodations, because of how different people are. And the problem that I think you guys are seeing is, look at our class size. It's much smaller. So I can say, hey, Taylor, you better get that turned in. Whereas if you're a class of 30 or 35, some things might slip under the radar. And special ed teachers do have to watch students more closely. Unfortunately for you guys, you not only have all these teachers, but there's also a social worker following you around. There's also a case manager following you around. There's also an extra administrator following all of you around. It's just more people to give you more supports. And sometimes those supports to you guys come off as we're picking too much, okay? But where they're coming from is we're here to support you and help you be the best students that you can be. Does that make sense? I know it's not fun for you guys, but we see the improvement that you guys make, and you guys improve at a much faster rate than other students sometimes. So, okay, after school we'll talk about, after lunch, not after school. After lunch we'll do, we'll start with home.